October 8th, 2025. The time is 6 o'clock p.m. I'm calling the meeting to order. I'll ask that you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Commissioner Downing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Downing. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Ackrey?
Here.
Commissioner Downing?
Here.
Commissioner Smith? Here. Commissioner Tubby?
Here.
Mayor Washington?
Here.
We have our quorum and are duly qualified to conduct business.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I have a motion dispensing with the reading of and approve the meeting minutes from October the 14th?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Downing.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Ackrey. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion to dispense with the reading and approve the minutes from October 21st, 2025?
Make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Downing.
Motion.
Second by Commissioner Ackrey. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comments. We have two people that have signed up for public comments, but I think you're actually going to be doing your presentation. Is that correct, Christina and Jenny? Okay. All right. So we're gonna call the Cabinet for Health and Family Services up to the podium. Sherry Miller. I have that on the agenda, so we can hear about foster care.
Hi, thank you. Sherry Miller couldn't be here this evening, so I'm her supervisor, Jennifer Weehee, and I supervise one of the foster care recruitment certification teams for the cabinet. And so Christina Neergarth is with me this evening, so we're going to go over, we did send a PowerPoint too, but I mean, we don't have to show it. I just wanted to let you guys know.
Who'd you send it to? Do you know?
Carol
Carol Ann? Well, we probably, wait a second.
It's not.
The clerk,
It's
the clerk.
okay. I didn't know
The clerk
if you
will.
guys needed it.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Why did you say that?
Okay, yeah, I think that's probably yeah, thank you.
Unlike the Power Ranger.
Unlike.
I'll just start with some stats, just to kind of give you guys a quick idea of the current situation that we're in. And is there a, do I just click it on here? I'm not very, okay, I'm not very tech savvy. Okay, thanks. Statewide, children in out-of-home care, that's kids that have been removed for abuse or neglect or dependency from their birth family. As of October 1st, in the state of Kentucky, there's 8,678 kids statewide. Our northern bluegrass region, there's 1,220 kids. And then break it down just for Kenton County, there's 432 children that have been removed, that are currently in out-of-home care from Kenton County alone. Kenton County foster homes, we only have 74 DCBS, that's what we call like our cabinet foster homes, approved and certified by the state. But we do have 67 what we call PCP, which is the private child care providers like NECO, SAFI, Benchmark, the other agencies like that. What she's got on here. Age-wise, to kind of give you an idea, at first entry, when they're first removed from their family, right now we have 370 children that are newborn to 5 years old. Children ages 6 to 12, we have 321. And then ages 13 to 18, we have 342. And that's in our whole region. Foster homes in the region, like it was broke down for Kenton County, we have 267 cabinet foster homes region-wide, and then 252 of the private agency homes. So we're only meeting 85% of the need. What that means basically is a lot of kids, if they're removed from Covington, they have to be placed in Boone County or Scott County or Grant County or somewhere further away. It's further from their birth family. It's, having to switch schools, completely new neighborhood, new culture sometimes. Makes it harder for the birth families to visit their kids, just with that extra distance in there. I'll let Jenny talk about relative fictive.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the relative fictive kin caregivers. And basically, a couple years ago, we wanted to be able to support our relative fictive kin caregivers just like we do foster parents. So we're able to certify them as a foster home specifically for their grandchildren, aunts, like their niece, nephews, if they're the bus driver and they have a good relationship with the child. So we're able to certify them and to pay them a financial stipend to help care for the children in their home. And so that's what we have here. So a relative is basically, what it says, family member, like grandparents, aunts, uncles, a sibling. Fictive kin is those close family friends or others with a strong relationship to the child. And they must have known and had a relationship with the child prior to placement, unless the child is obviously 0 to 12 months. Then they must have had a relationship with the bio mother or bio father to qualify as a fictive kin caregiver. Some other important information about relative fictive kin: we are primarily certifying the families that we are certifying coming through to become licensed foster parents are our relative fictive caregivers. That's our aunts, uncles, grandparents, the teachers, the people who have already an established relationship. The benefits are, of that are obviously maintaining the family ties, reducing trauma so they're not placed with people they don't know. Stability, keeping them in the community where they belong, where they know and where their comfort is.
And how many years have the state's been able to do that now?
I think we've been doing that since, they started all around COVID.
Yeah,
Prior to COVID,
something.
maybe 2019, because it is when we switched over.
It used to be like if it was a grandparent, aunt, uncle, whatever, it was kind of like, here's your grandson and good luck.
And they would get like the kinship care money, which was like, I think $300 a month. But now they get the full foster parent stipend, which is like just as if, I was coming through to become certified for a child unknown to me. So.
For as far as the foster care approval, just a real quick rundown of what we call our basic homes. I say that's like Bob and Sue. They want to sign up and foster. They don't know who they're going to have placed in their home. There's trainings. Obviously, we have a 6-week training, and then there's 6 online trainings they have to do. There's a lot of paperwork. Obviously, background checks, fingerprints, things like that, and then several home visits with the family to approve them as a foster home. And then the relative and fictive kin homes that Jenny was talking about, the state did, I don't even know, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, come out with reduced standards. So those grandparents, aunts, uncles, they don't have to do quite as much. They already know the child, they already know, the family and what's going on. So they don't have to do the initial 6-week training. They do still do some online trainings. There's less paperwork that they have to do. We don't necessarily need to get every little piece of paperwork from them that we get from people who, are going to take children that we don't know. And the financial assistance, again, they get that same financial assistance as if they were a regular basic foster home.
Yeah, so adopting, we have children who are already, free for adoption, where termination of parental rights has already occurred, and that's at our CAPE. Our CAPE website, there's an acronym for everything, as you guys know. It's, what does it stand for? Kentucky Adoption
Profile Exchange.
Profile Exchange.
It used to be called SNAP, which was confusing.
Yeah, so there are benefits through adopting through foster care as well. The financial stipend will continue until the child's 18. And free in-state tuition at a Kentucky public university or college, medical card, monthly stipend, and adoption tax credit. So those are all benefits to adopting a child out of the foster care system.
Other ways to help, a lot of people say, well, I can't full on take on fostering. We have single foster parents. We have, two parent homes where they both work full-time jobs, all kinds of family dynamics. But a lot of families might just start out with respite. That's just, if a foster family needs a break for a weekend, we have respite providers who'll take the kiddos, for the weekend, just to give them a break. There's an app called Foster Friendly. Businesses can get signed up on that to offer a discount to foster families. It started in Louisville. There's not a whole lot here in Northern Kentucky. I know there's a hair salon in Fort Thomas that's on there, so they're trying to branch it out bigger up here. You can donate items to local foster care closets, baby items, clothing, supplies, and basically just helping spread the word is one of the biggest things. If you can't foster, talk to your friends, family, neighbors.
A lot of things, we've been touching a lot of city councils, so my team covers Kenton and Campbell, but we cover the top 12 counties of Northern Kentucky all the way down to Scott County. And there's a lot of little cities within Kenton and Campbell County, so we've been, going and talking to business associations and city councils and just other ways, just helping spread the word, because I know you guys have heard that we have a lot of kiddos who are unfortunately sleeping in our offices because we don't have placement. And we're right down here in Latonia is our Kenton County office, right at 43rd Street, West 43rd, right? Yeah. And so a lot of places are saying, how can I help? Well, this is one way, just helping us, listen to the need, helping us spread the word. A lot of the others, like we've done some other city councils, Erlanger, Ellesmere, some other ones, and they've done, they put our flyers on their newsletter, on their website. One of them did a mailing. It was the little city of Ryland Heights. They did a mailing to, some different things like that. So they let us put up yard signs, things like that. Other business associations have taken up donations and donated gift cards for the youth who are staying in our office, who until we can secure placement, letting us, come and speak at, this type of event, or a church, or a city outing, that kind of thing. So that's one of the things, we're just getting out there, spreading the word any way we can, and we appreciate you guys for your time
And
this evening.
Papers,
And then,
right?
she's going to go over the flyers. And we have a whole stack
Yeah, we'll leave a few extras if you guys want to pass them out or whatever, but the QR code takes you straight to the KY Faces website. People can put an inquiry directly on there on how to become a foster parent, and it comes to us. And then we put that Kenton County stats flyer in there showing the current numbers of kids in out-of-home care versus our foster homes. And then the other two flyers are about other ways to help and respite stuff. So, yeah.
That's the packets that we have, and there's plenty on the table there. And does anybody have any questions for us?
Any questions from the body? I've got several. So, I'm looking at one of your stats. It says number of children ages 12 to 21. So we do take care of them at 18 and 19. Talk to me about that a little bit.
So at 18, a youth can decide to recommit and go into like an independent living program. So of course they would be considered an adult at 18, but they would have to recommit to the cabinet's custody in order to have those benefits until they're 21.
Okay, so when they do that, does the cabinet set them up with any kind of a Section 8 voucher, or are they on their own? Are they in a group home? What's that look like?
They're, and it's a separate program that runs the independent living, but I've had a few foster homes with teenagers who turn 18 and decide to recommit for all the benefits that they get. And yeah, they help them get set up with an apartment. I don't know if it's Section 8. I think it's like an independent living.
Yeah, an independent living program through the state, but there's various ones like in the Randall, like NECO has some. Like different community partners have these independent living youth apartments and programs for these children who decide to recommit at the age of 18 to help them get started in school and secure a job and stuff like that.
Okay, and I see that there's financial aid available for the kids to go to college, but is that also available for trade schools?
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be necessarily for like obviously NKU, UK, Western, all those would qualify, but also Gateway and that kind of thing would qualify as well, yeah.
Okay, all right. No
And
one
then
else?
some of the kids who turn 18 decide to stay in their foster home, if they have a great relationship, and they can, definitely do that and stay there as well.
And then that family could continue to receive supportive services to help care for them while they're going to school and stuff if they recommit, if the youth recommit.
Okay, well, as a foster child that was adopted at the age of 6, but I was only in one home. Thank you for your presentation. There's a big need in our community for this. My mom was a foster mother, and we had over a dozen children that passed through our house at one time or the other, and my sister's a foster parent, so, it means a lot to me, and, you guys are doing good work, so thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. Next order of business, presentation by Eson.
Well, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. It's not often that I get to stand up here and share what the IT department is doing, what we're working on behind the scenes, the projects, the problem solving that we do in the background to keep our organization running more efficiently and overall serve our residents better. So I'm especially grateful for this opportunity tonight to talk about an initiative that stands to shape the future of the work we do in the city using artificial intelligence and more specifically generative AI. I want to share a quick backstory and why I'm standing here tonight. Back in July, Mayor Washington approached my desk on a Saturday morning. I was here working on a Saturday, and he approached me and asked me a question that I didn't expect. And he asked me, how can we implement AI in our organization? Now, being the IT nerd that I am, I was very surprised and excited at the same time, but mostly surprised because usually when I'm talking to the mayor about technology, it's usually not good. It's usually because he has a problem.
It's like I forgot my password.
Yeah. So, but he told me about a situation where he asked the department to produce a proposal for him, and weeks went by, and the proposal eventually made its way to his desk, but not after him already doing that proposal himself using AI. So when he received the proposal and looked over it, he realized that he was a genius. No, but the proposals ended up being exactly the same. The only difference was it took him 2 days instead of 2 weeks to receive that proposal. And I think that's an experience that we can all relate to, but it leads to a more important question, a bigger question, and that is, if AI can do this already, how can we as a city use it to work smarter, faster, and better for our citizens with the limited resources that we have? So, whether we realize it or not, AI is accelerating the pace of innovation in ways we couldn't have imagined a few years ago. But with that potential comes a set of responsibilities, ethical challenges, data privacy concerns, and the need to make sure that the tools that we'll eventually be using are transparent and we're using them responsibly, especially at the local government level. So again, that's why I'm here tonight. Hopefully we can start a conversation and talk about this not just as a next tech trend, but as a way to build our own initiative. So again, why now? Well, we have a narrow window of opportunity to rethink how we deliver services, how we manage data, how we empower our employees to take advantage of this new technology. There will be a lot of challenges, a lot of trial and error, but it's better for us to try and fail than to fail from not trying. So where does the city want to go? What does the city and what do the departments need or want to achieve? And how do we achieve it and by when? Well, we want to go up, we want to achieve success, and we can achieve it with a little bit of investment in a few months' time. Specifically, we hope to do this in the next 6 to 12 months. So what's the plan? We want to develop a plan that outlines what we want to achieve and why it matters before we execute on this initiative. And we don't want to just start throwing AI tools at everything and using AI without careful consideration. This is something that is really important. We want to establish an initiative name, state our mission, and identify our purpose. Overall, our mission is to leverage artificial intelligence to improve service delivery, reduce administrative workloads, enhance data-driven decision-making, and maintain transparency and public trust. So, initiative of this magnitude needs to rest on strong foundations, and we've identified 4 key pillars to guide us. And these pillars will remind us that AI is not just some new technology. It's about these 4 key areas that will ground our initiative. So it's about people. It's about building trust. It's about our purpose. It's about how do we provide public value and how do we continue to adapt to changes in the way we work. So first and foremost, we need to focus on empowering our workforce and workforce development. There's a fear out there that AI might be taking away people's jobs, but actually the opposite is true, and we're focused on empowering our workforce and giving them the transformative skills to learn these tools, and it will be equipping our employees with the skills and mindset to adapt to new ways of thinking. This is a governance and policy. This is important because we must establish public trust and establish clear standards for fairness, accountability, bias reduction, strong governance, and oversight to ensure that AI is used responsibly. Good governance means a strong initiative. At the end of the day, the reason why we're all here is to serve the public, so whatever AI technology that we decide to implement, we need to make sure that we're delivering meaningful outcomes for residents and that our innovation is guided by purpose, and therefore every AI project that we do should tie back to public value. We don't want to just, use an AI generation tool to create videos and content and things that don't make sense. We want to make sure that we're investing in the right AI technology. And then sustainable growth. This is, I think, an important pillar because a lot of times we take on these initiatives, but we don't think about the future of that initiative. So if we invest in these tools and systems, we need to look at the long-term strategy, build the infrastructure, make sure we're supporting training, make sure we're committed to maintaining the systems that we put in place, and ensure the city evolves and continues to adapt to the new technologies. So how do we do this? We'll break this down into phases. In phase 1, we need to identify key preliminary actions needed to kickstart the project. We've developed a draft plan. We've identified a leadership group. And we need to conduct a discovery and needs assessment to see what AI pilot projects we should undertake. We want to make sure we're getting everybody's input. We want to, right now in phase 1, we would target the mayor, the city manager, and the department directors to make sure that we're including every department and we're getting their feedback to make sure that the initiative aligns with each department's needs. Finally, the most important part of phase one would be to make sure that we build trust and perception. Again, we're not taking people's jobs away. We want to empower our employees and give them the tools to do their jobs better. And we hope to accomplish this in 1 to 2 months. We're already making progress. We've had a few milestones. Obviously, me standing here tonight, we're establishing our project pillars. Hopefully tonight you'll approve the AI policy. And we will work to establish an AI training plan and potentially looking at hiring an AI consultant. I want to point something out here that a lot of people may not know, and that's the last couple months, our senior leadership went through a AI certification course, and every single one of our department heads is now has a certification in AI proficiency. I think that's a big deal. I think that lays the foundation for our department heads to feel confident in taking on this initiative and using these tools. But more importantly, we want to also make sure that we're training the broader workforce, and we can look at doing AI training workshops. So what exactly does workforce development look like? Again, we can look at, well, first of all, I want to emphasize we want to enhance our workforce capabilities through training and foster internal awareness and understanding of AI's potential and impact on each employee's role. The cost to do the AI proficiency training, that costed us about $450 per employee. In the future, if budget allows, maybe we roll that out to, again, the broader workforce. Or more realistically, we could do a AI workshop, gather everybody here in the chamber, bring in an outside expert trainer, and have a class that could spend maybe a day or two to show employees the tools and, again, talk about how we use AI responsibly and ethically. Although senior staff is technically certified, we're not experts in artificial intelligence. Therefore, an AI consultant can help us understand where AI adds value rather than trying to figure it out ourselves. A consultant can assess which processes need to be automated and how AI can improve our processes, how AI aligns with our organization's mission, goals, and resources. We want to make sure that the outcomes and the ROI, again, align with the city's mission, and we don't want to waste our investment on the wrong tools or pilot projects. Looking at phase one activities, this is important. We should, not just in phase one, but for the future, maybe annually, we look at our governance policies and we look at the way we're running this initiative, and we continue to refine it. And who would lead that? The IT department, the legal department, human resources, and department heads. We want to make sure that we include data governance include AI governance in our general data governance to set the standard for using the right tools and systems. Again, these could include items such as additional policies, processes for using AI, individual roles. Maybe in the future we might have to have a compliance officer, and then establishing funding for these projects. Right? This all sounds great, but we have to have a way to fund it. And then keeping risks in mind. Just because we're using AI, that doesn't leave us free from risks. So we need to make sure that our governance reflects risk mitigation measures and preventing privacy breaches and making sure that we're compliant. So these are items that should be part of our governance and items that we can consider to be completed or well on their way. Again, with the adoption of the AI policy, that'll be a big deal for staff because they can start using AI tools tomorrow responsibly. We want to establish a budget for our AI procurement strategy. We've started to do that, and eventually we want to publish a citywide AI strategy document with your approval. So as we explore the use of artificial intelligence in our organization, it's critical that we also understand and address the risks that come with it, especially at the local government level. To assuage everyone in the room and the public, we want everyone to know that we are obligated to protect privacy and uphold security. We already do this on a day-to-day basis. We'll just have to focus on AI a little bit more because it's something new. We want to make sure we understand the risks and the public knows that we understand the risks and the potential errors from using some of these tools. So things like hallucinations and bias in these systems. The solution, we'll make sure to develop protocols to minimize risks and ensure human review of using all these AI tools. Looking at phase 3 activities, our focus is creating purpose-driven innovation that delivers real public value. Our first activity in this phase is to identify needs, and that means we will potentially contract with an AI consultant to conduct a thorough needs assessment across all departments. This goal is to understand where AI can make the biggest impact, improve efficiency, and support the city's goals responsibly. We'll identify use cases for each department. This is where we can match specific challenges like creating SOPs for the finance department to help staff work smarter and serve our residents better. So again, we want to identify our needs, identify resource-constrained departments, and maybe we'll look at departments with the highest number of priorities that AI can help with. We would provide deliverables, and that could look something like the finance department, again, will utilize AI tools to create SOPs and audit measures to control costs more accurately. And throughout this initiative, we would make sure we provide the reporting that you all want to make sure to see. So how does this all come together? Here we highlight key tasks and state our intended outcome of the initiative objectives. We obviously want to implement changes where they need to be implemented, and this would be part of our success. So if we can identify the needs, develop the project plan, make sure that it's sustainable and feasible for the department, implement those improvements, and continue to monitor and evaluate the systems that we put in place. Promise I'm almost done. So here's just a quick overview of our roadmap summary, what we can expect in the next 6 to 12 months at each phase of our initiative. The key takeaway here is we want to identify and solve Covington's opportunities for improvement and provide public value. We want to make sure that we are ethical and inclusive and accountable and transparent about this initiative, and we want to make sure that we develop our workforce for the future. I'm happy to take questions.
Any questions? Commissioner Downing.
I've got three. First, did you use AI to help build your presentation?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Just curious. So the actual two questions. One, as we're thinking about the policy, would it be your advice that we would have a limitation to one specific type of AI software that would be accessible, i.e. Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT or any of the other variations versus having multiple that would be at users' disposal?
Yeah, that's, in terms of the policy, we didn't restrict people to any one particular tool, but that's something that we can look at in the future. We've kind of left it open because we just, people are already using all these tools already, and there's nothing we can do to really stop them. But we can, in the future, put more controls in place. We have access to Copilot already, so that's something people are kind of used to using now, and that's something that I would recommend, but I'm not limiting people to any one particular tool.
It's something that is worth looking into, because when we think about us being a government entity and the transparency and the restrictions that we need to place, having a singular entity like Copilot that we can put parameters and controls around tends to allow us greater limitation on the way that information is being used versus some of the other more open source AI that is not housed where we can't create the same restrictions and the structure around them. So while I know that you don't have a direct answer around that, it's something that I would strongly advise that we look at and develop a perspective on, because I'm not the most educated person on this topic. I've just seen how other businesses have implemented it, and some will basically say, hey, you can only use Copilot, and you can only use Copilot up to 10 issuances of an order, so that way there is no log history within it, versus like a ChatGPT, which allows you to create some of that customization. The other comment that I wanted to make was around the transparency. So as AI is beginning to take root, and as we are establishing policies around that, I think that there is a need to, especially when we're communicating internally, to make sure that we identify when AI is being utilized to help support, because there are things that when we are getting pieces of information, we'll say, oh, okay, this is standard, or this is boilerplate because we're used to seeing certain things. I'll be the first to admit that if I see the same form over and over and over again, I'll skip over like the AIR, like the header or anything like that, because it's rote, it's consistent. But it's, when AI hallucinates, they will sometimes change things that are pretty standard without any intention of it, and it can create errors that propagate. And so if we say, hey, we used AI to create this AIR, then it can cause the recipient to say, okay, well, I'm going to review that and make sure that, hey, is there a budget line item within this AIR because it got omitted this time around. So I'd like us to make sure that we put parameters around the transparency aspect of this and how we're communicating internally, because it will be very easy for us to use it to help support the tool, but then not have the necessary rigor around checking all of the pieces of information, because Lord help me, I've seen many a document that's been generated or supported with AI where there's something small that seems inconsequential that people look over, but then ends up creating problems down the road.
Yeah, I think that's something that we could look into and work with our team to develop our transparency around that.
Thank you.
Just a quick question. I do want to say I agree with having like some type of disclaimer as far as saying things have been generated by AI. I work at a company where we're using AI more and more, especially for the repetitive tasks. And it's funny, when you started this, code enforcement violations, things like that came to mind. Just out of curiosity, historically for the city, as long as you've been here, have we ever explored like bots or anything to assist with those repetitive forms that we're filling out?
Yeah, I mean, we already are. Actually, Dr. Todd Sink is working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes. We're just waiting to make it more formal. We wanted to present this to you all before we just release something and you guys don't know about it.
Well, I mean, even prior to AI, I mean, the computer robotics have been around for a while that we've utilized.
No,
Water trees.
previously we haven't. No, it's not
Okay.
something that we looked into previously.
See, I think with City Hall running short-staffed, anything that increases an employee's capacity is great. Thank you.
Any other questions for Esam? Just a comment, Esam. You know, we have, currently our finance director is off at the training site, and she sent this, she's part of the AI group. And she screenshot something from her training class that she shared with the AI group. By using AI, they're learning. By using AI, it's saving 95 minutes saved per day. 23,375 minutes per year, 387 hours per year, and about 9.7 hours in a 40-hour work week. So 2 months of full-time work saved per employee. I thought that was pretty interesting that Ms. Gaffney sent that. Also, I'll say that, you know, I also participated in the training that you provided to the directors, and some of the things that were mentioned by Commissioner Downing were addressed in the training and how to spot those things. So as we continue on, I think it's important that we do, for our workforces, we're moving forward, that they are able to identify some of the problems with AI, but I believe that it could be a savings for our community. Because certainly we can't just keep trying to hire people. We don't have that kind of budget, but we should probably embrace technology as much as possible. So thank you, and thank you for the team members of getting this far. I appreciate you.
No, thank you all for the support. Again, this is a big initiative, and I'm looking forward to working on this more.
Thank you. Okay, Madam City Manager.
Two quick reports for tonight. One is that the bike lane delineators on the Girl Scout Bridge project, on Girl Scout Bridge, those have been installed, so we had received some questions about that. So those are in place now and should make it safe for our bikers. The only other update I had was to let you know that for the Bridging the Gap project, we have completed all of our partner agency meetings at this point in time, and there's just a lot of support and intent to help the city through those big infrastructure projects coming our way. So we're making good progress on that. That's all I had.
Any questions for Mrs. Reddy? Seeing none, thank you very much, ma'am. Will the clerk please report the consent agenda?
In order adopting electronic digital format and electronic digital signatures for legislative documents effective January 1st, 2026. In order approving the purchase of 60 computers for the Covington Police Department from SHI Sourcewell. In order approving and adopting the City of Covington Artificial Intelligence AI policy. In order authorizing the mayor to execute a legal services agreement for foreclosure actions with the law firm of Ulrich, Sassano, Dayton, Delaney, and Higgins Company, LPA. In order accepting the resignation of Officer Lucas Mann, Police Department, effective September 30th, 2025. In order approving the hire of Robert Fain as a contract officer pursuant to KRS 95.022, effective November 2nd, 2025, and authorizing the mayor to sign a contract peace officer agreement with Robert Fain. In order approving the purchase of one 2026 Ford F-350 for the Covington Public Works Department from Fuller Ford. In order approving the purchase of the upfit for one 2026 Ford F-350 for the Covington Public Works Department from K.E. Rose Company. In order approving the purchase of two 2026 Ford F-550 cab and chassis for the Covington Public Works Department from Fuller Ford. In order approving the purchase of the upfit for two 2026 Ford F-550 for the Public Works Department from K.E. Rose. In order approving the purchase of one 2026 Freightliner M2-106 Plus for the Covington Public Works Department from FIDA Freightliner Western Star. In order approving the purchase of the upfit for one 2026 Freightliner M2106 Plus for the Covington Public Works Department from K.E. Rose Company. In order promoting Brian Watts to Technician 3 in the Parks and Facilities Division of the Public Works Department, effective October 29, 2025. In order accepting a grant agreement with the U.S. Department of the Interior and authorizing the mayor to execute all grant documents for the rehabilitation of the Frank Duveneck House and Studio.
I'll entertain a motion to accept and adopt the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Ackery, second by Commissioner Downing. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. New business, Madam Clerk.
An order authorizing the mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding with Covington Independent Schools, Kenton County School District, and Northern Kentucky Port Authority regarding collaboration on industrial revenue bond projects.
Okay. As you see, this was tabled, moved to regular at the request of the Economic Development Director. Mr. West, you want to approach?
Yeah, last week we asked you all to put this on regular because the Port Authority wanted some minor changes to the wording. Thank you to Solicitor Schultz for putting together some wording which late yesterday afternoon was accepted by the port. And that is what I sent out to you this afternoon with the new wording highlighted. It basically says the same thing. The city is still going to be responsible for issuing IRBs within the city unless for some reason we would request that another organization, the county or the port, do that. And they could only do that with our written consent. And we would still follow the same process, same underwriting, same analysis.
Any questions for Director West? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to accept the authorizing for the mayor, me, to sign a memorandum of understanding with Covington Independent Schools, Kenton County Schools, and Northern Kentucky Port Authority.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by the Vice Mayor.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Tebby. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance amending the Covington Neighborhood Development Code, Chapter 158 of the Covington Code of Ordinances to allow recovery residence as a permitted use within the TUR, TUMU, RR, SR, SU, DTC, and AUC districts, to remove sober living home and sober living facility from all sections and definitions, and to amend Section 03.07.6 related to micromanufacturing and Section 07.21.9 related to exemptions.
Any questions regarding this? Seeing none, this is considered to have its first reading. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance amending the city's 2025-2026 budget, reappropriating and reapportioning the anticipated general fund revenue and the anticipated revenue of all other funds of the city of Covington, Kentucky for the fiscal year beginning on July 1st, 2025 and ending June 30th, 2026 among the various departments and for the general and special purposes as indicated in the recommended all funds operating budget 2025-2026 to meet the expenses of the city of Covington, Kentucky for the said fiscal year.
Any questions on this ordinance? No. Seeing none, this ordinance is considered to have its first reading.
An ordinance of the City of Covington, Kentucky authorizing the issuance of its City of Covington, Kentucky General Obligation Refunding Bonds, Series 2025A, in the approximate aggregate principal amount of $29,395,000, which amount may be increased by up to $2,940,000 or decreased by any amount, for the purpose of refunding at or in advance of maturity the city's financial obligations represented by the lease agreement dated June 4th, 2020, by and between the city and the Huntington Public Capital Corporation, the proceeds of which financed a portion of the costs of the economic development real estate parcel now known as the CCR site approving the form of the bonds, authorizing designated officers of the city to execute and deliver the bonds, authorizing and directing the filing of a notice with the state local debt officer, providing for the payment and security of the bonds, establishing a bond payment fund for the bonds, affirming the maintenance of the existing sinking fund, authorizing the acceptance of the bid of the purchaser of the bonds, and repealing any inconsistent ordinances.
Any questions on this? Seeing none, this is considered to have its first reading. With all the first readings, we encourage the public to go to our website, and you can read more about the law, because that's what we're trying to modify, change, or create, and reach out to your one of your elected officials that are sitting here for further explanation if you would like. Will the clerk please report number 4?
An ordinance enacting and creating the Covington Transportation Improvement District, TID, as authorized by KRS 184.350 through 184.395.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Downing,
I'll second.
second by flip of a coin. The ladies have it. Vice Mayor Smith. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Ackrey?
Yay.
Commissioner Downing?
Aye.
Commissioner Smith?
Aye.
Commissioner Tebby?
Aye.
Mayor Washington?
Aye. The ordinance is considered passed and now considered law. Okay, next item on the agenda is commissioner discussion items. Any commissioners having any discussion items? Seeing no discussion items. Commissioner comments? Any commissioner having comments? No comments. Mayor's comments? No comments. Okay. Can I have a motion for the commission to go into executive session pursuant to 61.810, Section 1, Subsection B, for the purpose of discussing the future acquisition or sale of real property by a public agency, and KRS 61.810, Subsection 1, Section 1, Subsection F, for discussion that may lead to the appointment, dismissal, or discipline of an individual employee. May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Commissioner Downing,
I'll second.
second by Vice Mayor Smith. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. With that, we will take a recess where we're going into executive session. Upon conclusion of the executive session, we will not be coming back into regular session. Good evening. Thank you.